guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, got an email from a subscriber. This guy is 32 years old and he's writing in looking for help how to handle his younger brother. His younger brother is 29 years old and recently he's got himself mixed up with this gal who is absolutely the epitome of just train wreck. I'm talking he is white knighting for this gal who has all the different red flags we talk about on this channel, and he simply just doesn't get it, the impact it's going to have in his life. This younger brother, for the last 5 or 6 years, has done a very good job turning his life around. The guy writing in, they come from a messed up family, messed up dad and everything. A lot of bad things happened when they were younger. And the younger brother kind of got roped into that lifestyle. Last 5 or 6 years, he's been doing really well on multiple fronts. And our guy here doesn't want his bro to be dragged back down into it with a woman who's just like, frankly, his dad. And I'll be going to go over here, guys, about the whole situation where you got somebody you care about, and they're doing well, and then they get involved with the wrong person, in this situation, obviously a woman, and how to handle that. Because there are times in life, guys, you do your best to help people you care about, but there's also a point where you say your piece, and you move on, and you let them deal with it how they deal with it. Because I'm a big believer of helping people you care about, I really am. But I'm not a believer in coddling them. There is a difference, especially when they're a grown adult. So I'm going to go through this, and hopefully we can give this guy some good, solid advice to help him, help his brother out, and we'll see where it goes. Because I know a lot of you guys have at least one guy that you're friends with or care about that, you know, has picked the wrong girl. So it starts off, says here, hello SSM. I've been occasionally watching your videos for a few years now, and I've really enjoyed your content. Well, bro, I'm glad you enjoy it, and I appreciate you watching. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would ever need advice myself, since I'm simply too much of a frugal introvert to ever even consider being in a relationship or dating. That being said, I need some help and advice about something that I have yet to find on your channel. I need to stage an intervention. Yeah, I guess I never did an intervention type of story, but I've done countless videos and guys that want to help out their brother or their friend or something, so it's similar. The intervention is for my younger brother, who has met a girl who flies more red flags than the Chinese Navy, and who's at this very moment driving my whole family towards disaster. Well, she's obviously a piece of garbage, but your family has to work together to get rid of her. For context, I'm 32 and my bro is 29. We've been living with our mother, who's 70 years old, and unfortunately made some poor financial decisions that have limited her retirement plan to work until you die. This is due in no small part to our father, who was a jobless drug addict, recluse, who wanted to live in the middle of nowhere and do drugs whilst holding his kids hostage, figuratively, forcing my grandmother and then my mom to pay for that lifestyle for our sake. He's dead now. Well, good. One less asshole in the world. Over the course of all that, I end up introverted to the point where I strongly prefer solitude over other people, and my brother tried out some of those drugs, but for the last 5 or 6 years has been weed only, and he has been putting a lot of work in getting himself into good shape and turning his life around. Well, that's great. Your bro has been on the journey, probably because you've been helping him. Frankly, he should give up the weed. I mean, at the very least, he'll save himself a lot of money. You know, and I got some weed smokers out there, and it's your life, but still, I don't see any benefit to it unless, obviously, you got cancer or something. Living together in a super cheap place and having everyone working has been a huge boon for finances as well. And my guess is that we could buy a house for cash in about 5 years, maybe a second one soon after, assuming nothing terrible happened. Well, good. You're working hard. You got a plan going. But, of course, then something terrible happened. It was about a month ago that this crisis came to my attention. My brother became embroiled with this girl who was going through her own crisis. Oh boy, white knighting we call it. They've been casually flirting in passing since October, according to my brother. October? Okay, so we're looking at July, August, September, so about 9 months, give or take. So he just found out about this, but it's been going on for a while. She was renting from a local slumlord, and the building she was staying got condemned. So she became homeless and went crying to my brother, who, of course, went all in on the white knight routine. Of course, and she knew it. I'm sure there's other places to rent where you are. They should get another place. He paid for her to stay in a motel, which tanked his finances. Smack, of course. Then a month ago, he borrowed my tent and spent a few weeks hiding out with her until we offered to let him stay with us. At this point, I met her for the first time, and also at this point in the story, your community may as well get out all the bingo cards, so here she is. He's now going to list all the wonderful qualities she has. I'm talking, he was not kidding about all the red flags of the Chinese Navy. He says she's average looking. Okay, well, that's not bad. It's just, a reality. Mid-30s, tired of playing games and looking to settle down. That's what they all say in their 30s. We're tired of playing games. But it's funny, the ones that say they're tired of playing games are usually the ones who do play games. They don't want the guys to play games. They want to play games. She's been married twice, according to her. Her kids, but they aren't with her. Wonder why. So she's a single mom. She has a dad almost like ours who was living with her and now is also homeless. Oh, so her dad was a junkie too. Claims previous husband tried to off her, claims to have a bunch of medical problems, and needs to have an emotional support service dog all the time. To translate for those who don't speak scum of the earth with an American accent, saying, I will never have a job, please pity me and take care of me. She lies like breathing, in that she opens her mouth and never-ending stream of obvious BS falls out, so you can never really go on what she says. Well, the old joke about how do you know when a junkie's lying? Their lips are moving. Somehow manages to get $900 a month for some kind of social security. Yep, meaning she'll never get a job. She cries and throws tantrums whenever something doesn't go her way. Wears skimpy clothes around our house, which she's a guest in. She's a bossy, nagging personality. And needs weed, as she's saying that you don't want to see her sober. Okay, so you put all that together, yeah, she's a pain in the ass. She's a piece of shit. She's not worth it. The only thing I can say that isn't her fault is that she's average looking and she's in her 30s. He doesn't want that, of course, but I'm just saying, put that all together. Okay, she's a big leech. She is obviously into drugs, lots of drama, married twice, kids, all that. Yeah, what the hell is your brother thinking? Probably because, I don't know, he probably fell for the white knight crap. Maybe because your brother was obviously messed up when he was younger. You didn't quite elaborate the extent that your brother was messing up when he was younger. And maybe he feels like he has to save her because somebody saved him. I don't know why the white knights do this shit. I was never a white knight, so it doesn't factor into me. But the point is, this is going to fuck up your brother's life. It already is. It's already messing up his finances. And she's going to drag him down. And then you got to deal with her ass. And she's in the house with you. Well, she needs to go. He says, you are fond of the quote, don't ask a fish how to catch a fish, ask a fisherman. Well, as an aspiring fisherman, my brother said, fuck asking anyone, and walked down to the local sewer pond, grabbed a dead fish, then washed up on shore and called it a day. I'm stunned. There is no other way to describe this feeling. We've been talking about dating and relationships for a while, and I mentioned your channel to him before, and I've talked about some of the common signs of a relationship is bad, but he obviously hasn't listened at all. Or he thinks she's different. Lots of guys watch my channel. Let me backtrack here. A lot of guys write into me, and they talk about how they watched my channel for a while, but then they met that girl. And for whatever reason, all the things that they learned from all these train wreck stories went in one ear and out the other, thinking she's different, or I'm different, or something like that. And yet magically, the same crap happens to them, and they don't connect the dots. Or maybe you told him about my channel, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll watch it one day. He never does, because I don't listen to that douchebag in the car. And here he is. She and my mother don't get along either, and after about 2 weeks, the friction was disturbing my fragile, introverted self, and since my brother is already broke from trying to deal with this train wreck alone, I coughed up $900 to get them moved into another place, but in all the time since I met her, I've not been able to get my brother alone to try to talk some sense into him. Well, you need to get him alone. You need to say, bro, we're going to go hang out, the two of us. End of story. And you know what? Even if she's there, who gives a shit? Now, I'm guessing that, are they out of the house now, or are they still there? I asked for help with an amend, and she tags along. We went on a day trip to the lake, and instead of swimming with me, he hangs out with her on the shore. I hesitate to openly confront this nonsense because that would mean declaring war on this chick, but duty demands I do something soon. Bro, you are at war. You're in the Cold War right now, but it's soon going to be war. Don't bullshit yourself. You're going to have to do this. The stakes are higher than just a bad relationship. This could undo years of personal growth my brother has made, or worse, and right now my first move is going to be trying to set up some regular alone time, but say nothing and perhaps let the woman's paranoia and controlling nature do some work for me. Any further advice would be appreciated. No, you can't just wait around for hoping that things, by you just hanging out with your brother, will make her show her true colors and your brother will magically see the light and end it with her. No, you need to tell, this is what I think you should do. First of all, your brother's 29 years old. He's a grown-ass fucking man. That being said, you care about him, you love him, you want things the best for him, fine. I'll tell you, bro, we need to hang out, just the two of us, on Tuesday or Monday, whatever day you got, and make it clear it's just the two of you. And she better not fucking be there. And if you do get together and her ass is tagging along, you say whatever, you say Jessica, because I'm going to assume her name's Jessica, because the most crazy women are named Jessica. Jessica, stay home. I'm hanging out with Bill. And go out with Bill and lay it down. This chick is nothing but trouble. You're a good guy, Bill, but you're going right back down the tubes, blah, blah, blah. Say it in a way that you know your brother Bill, and I don't know his name is fucking Bill, but I'm just saying Bill. First man name that came to my mind. You know how to talk to him. You know him, or at least you think you do, and see where he stands. And frankly, also, I would listen. That's a big thing people don't do. Listen. What's the deal? Talk to me, bro. Why are you with her? Why? Ask all these questions. Let them talk. And say what you guys say. And I'd be blunt. No sense of sugarcoating. Because that's what women do. Be direct. You don't have to be cruel, but just be direct after you let them speak. And tell him the direction his life is going and where it's going to go. And this girl's nothing but trouble. And find out why he's trying to be her savior. I'm willing to bet you probably because of, your dad, or because he was once messed up and he's trying to, but the thing is, she's dragging him down. He said all that money he saved up dragged him down. He's probably doing drugs like her. And the fact that she now has, it's like, for God's sakes, it never ceases to amaze me how the writing is on the wall. You can see all the red flags, and yet these boneheads fall for it. And I, again, would recommend my channel that he watches my videos pronto. You can dig around for some related videos and have him watch that. That's what I think. And as for an intervention thing, whoever you have that cares about him, your mom or anybody else, perhaps sit him down. But here's the thing. People that, it seems that interventions, those that are an intervention is set up for, don't like that very much. They feel ambushed, betrayed, and all that. So I would handle it carefully. So what I think is, honestly, you talk to your brother alone, and you make it clear of all these things. And here's the thing. When you're talking to him, or at least when he's speaking and you're listening and you're talking reality to him, because you don't need to sugarcoat, if he gets all defensive and starts throwing insults your way, you don't know her and all that other crap, then you must understand there's a point after you've made the effort and you tried for your younger brother that you can't save him, at least not now. And so he's going to have to go down in the gutter, in the sewer with the fucking rat, and learn the hard way. Because like I said before, I believe in helping people that you care about. I'm all for that. I do not believe in coddling them, especially grown-ass men that are 29 motherfucking years old. That's what I think you should do. And I want you to be prepared for the possibility, the likely possibility, it's not going to get you anywhere. In fact, what will happen is then there'll be resentment towards you, and you and your bro aren't talking. Because a woman that he's known for 9 months will be more important to him for his brother of 29 years of his life, who's been there for him, helped him out. That's usually how it works. It's crazy. It's bros before hoes, not hoes before bros, but a lot of guys don't understand that. And there you go. And you have to do the hardest thing possible, walk away. In some cases, cut him off, because you don't need him to drag you down. It's unfortunate, man, but it just is what it is. And don't let him and her affect your life and the goals you want to have and things you want to achieve and all that. And especially also your mom, who's 70, and her days are numbered. I'm being honest here. She doesn't need that shit causing her anxiety and stress in her life, because it's already challenging with health issues at 70 years old. She dealt with enough bullshit from your fucking dad, So that's what I think. And I hope by some luck your brother, you can talk some sense into him. But be prepared that the likelihood is it ain't going to go well. But this whole stalling the declaring war, it's not going to work. Be direct. You can be kind, but be direct. And try to be calm. Because the odds are he'll probably get emotional and worked up. You got to be the rock. You got to be calm. You're the older brother. Even though it's very difficult to be calm when someone's acting like a jackass and you just want to grab him by the hair and smack the shit out of him, which, frankly, he could use. So that's what I think, man. And I think that for any of you guys out there that may have a similar situation, somebody you care about, particularly your family, it's one thing if it's a friend, but it's another thing if it's family, that you obviously would see often and all that, So that's what I think. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Guys, please chime in. Let this guy know what you think. Any of you guys that may have had a situation like this with a family member or a bro that got involved with somebody that was really dragging them down, what success did you have in trying to talk some common sense to them? If you had success, let's hear it. Help this guy out because he'll read all the comments. Also, let me hear about it when you had to eventually just back off and let him crash. And I might add, bro, by the way, before I wrap this up, the likelihood is you'll stay with her and she'll drag him down. And down the road, he may come to you needing help. At that point, then you can say, I'll help you, but she's out of your fucking life. Be prepared for that, But I hope it doesn't come to that. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. I said that before. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.